So now we have Father David Deerfeeder. Yay! He was a huge success last year, and he sure bailed us out of a pinch. And so we were grateful to have him back, and I know everybody's excited to see him. So let's begin.
So I was listening to the presentations that were being made today. I was jotting down on my little pad, as I sometimes do. There were some questions that came up, and I'd like to address a couple of them. Can you release people? Yes. Some people, if they pass in a state where their cognitive functions are impaired, if they were drunk, if they were on drugs, if they committed suicide, if they had a head trauma, often they take that consciousness into the next phase of their existence. Now, there are also people who are not ready to go, who feel an emotional attachment to a person, a place, or a thing. And they hang around. And there's a little window of time that they can hang around, check out the funeral, see who shows up, go into the light. Many times when I'm doing funerals, I have watched people at the end of it go into the light. They just wanted to see what people were going to say. So there's this opportunity. The opportunity to go into the light is never limited. It's not a deal where God says you have 72 hours and then you're stuck. So, but what happens is after a little while, people feel stuck. So it's the job of folks like me as a medium to help them unstick. I come from a family of sensitives on my mother's side. I had 7 years of sexual abuse as a child from the time I was 3 to the time I was 10. I wound up with PTSD, and PTSD creates a state of hypervigilance. For a medium, hypervigilance is a superpower. I think there's a lot of people, and Harvey was talking about it earlier with me, there's probably a lot of people in the paranormal field who might be survivors with PTSD because it changes the way you see things and your ability to see and hear and sense. So while I don't advise getting it, I think that it can still become something that's used as a gift because all things can be used for gifts. I'm a multi-sensate medium. Sometimes I see people, sometimes I hear people, sometimes I intuit people. Sometimes they sneak up on me and scare the hell out of me. One night I was in my church. I was working on a choral piece on the piano. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was just, I was in my zone. All of a sudden the back doors of the church, it was like 2 swinging doors. One of the doors opened, a bright blue ball of light, about the size of a bowling ball, came flying up the center aisle of the church at about 6 feet height, hit the area where the steps to the platform were and completely disappeared. I dialed the phone, I called my spouse, and I said, "You are staying on the phone until I walk in the front door." Because sometimes this crap is scary. I want to reiterate what was said earlier today. Please be respectful to the dead, and please be respectful to the living. Please don't bait. Please don't call ghost names. Please don't think that that's a good idea. Anything short of love, in my opinion, is never a good idea. When you look in the mirror, do you see who you are? You are more than meets the eye. You are love that meets the heart. You are the joy that brings me laughter. You are the faith that keeps me trying. You are the warmth that lingers after you spend some time. After you spend some time. Do you see who you are? Do you know the gift you bring? Can you see in this heart? Can you see how much you mean? You are the word of understanding. You are the touch that says I'm fine. And you are the warmth that lingers after you spend some time. After you spend some time. When you look in the mirror, do you see who you are? You are more than meets the eye. You are love that meets the heart. You are love that meets the heart. God bless you. And if you want to have a really swell time after this Paracon, you want to go to Haunted Halls with these wonderful ladies from the Northern Nevada Ghost Hunters and the wonderful gentlemen who are here with them too. It's going to be a good time.